We were hired to revert the boiler room in this house. The complaints of the customer were some parts of the house did not get enough heat. The controls were scary, mess of cables. The customer was worried about an electrical fire. He didn't think that the system was performing as it should have been. Indeed, when we showed up, we realized that all the pumps were pulling out of manifolds instead of pushing into it. There was no hydraulic separation of the boiler loop from the secondary loops. Some of the pumps were not even operating. The controls were a jumbled mess of relays and transformers and trillion cables that was very hard to make heads and tails of. So we completely stripped out the system, replaced all the pumps and piping with a Rella hydronic header. It's an 1.25" header with a union attached to stainless steel supply and return branches. It's a simple bolt-on process of putting on isolation flanges for the pumps and the ball valves with drain for the return line, so we can drain the system and bleed it. We use the Rella ECM pumps. These two pumps are providing flow to two manifolds that are zoned with thermal zone valves. This pump supplies the main floor, which has no actuators on it, and we remove the actuators from the existing manifold for the basement. Since it's one slab zoning, it makes absolutely no sense. There was not one single floor sensing thermostat in the entire house, so we installed a Rella floor sensing thermostat here for the basement, as well as one for the main floor. All the circulators, as I said, are changed. We also installed a magnetic dirt separator that removes any rust from the system before it could damage these ECM pumps. Redid the boiler loop, changed the circulator pump, and repiped so it now performs as it should. We use the Rella products mainly because of the speed, the quality, and the price point. We use Calefatio isolation flanges because they are very versatile, very good isolation flanges. Webstone ball valves with drains, very simple bolt-on stuff. SharkBite took a major importance in this setup because it allows this whole return loop to be bent in and out repeatedly without breaking the joint here. When we were adjusting these valves and putting on, we also SharkBite adapters from threaded into 3/4. Transition from 1 inch to 3/4 is achieved by the SharkBite adapter, as well as using 3/4 isolation flange on top while using 1 inch on the bottom. So basically it's a very easy to configure system using these headers. Altogether in the basement, it was from the start to finish about 14 hours. Also we added a Rella expansion tank arm to hold the tank properly, not just being strapped to the wall. The strut system is also by Rella. That makes installation extremely easy for all this hardware. The longest time, most time consuming part of this project was to make sense of all those millions of wires and then make sure that the new controls work with them. These are all the leftover cables, and we threw out a bunch already that are descending from the upper floors. Who knows what they are for? They are not used now. All we have is take-home 4-zone pump relay, 2 transformers for the actuators on the second floor, and on the second floor and where the actuators are, we use the Uponor little zone valve controller. So it's a very simple, easy to follow system instead of the jumbled mess that was before.